Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and generally when I'm doing product reviews on this channel, it's food type items. But I'm going to break from that for this video and do a supplement. And this is one of the ones that I'm very curious about, and in fact, I spent my own money on this. This is not a situation where the company contacted me, which is often the case, but it's for Inno supplements. And these guys show up on my Facebook feed, on my Instagram feed daily. I'm assuming they've got a fairly sizable marketing budget, and they've got just tons of different products. I've also noticed in the comments on any of their ads that it's really sort of a divided sort of group. There's the people that say this stuff is just snake oil and trash and worthless, and other people that think it's just the greatest thing ever. And some of the products that I've seen that I'm sort of curious about, they've got some what appear to be some thermogenic compounds for fat burning. They have a nighttime supplement that's supposed to help you sleep better while simultaneously burning fat. It's called Night Shred, and I think they've got one called Night Shred Black. I didn't want to test out those because I'm testing another sleep-related product that I'll be doing a review of probably before this one actually releases. But one of the things that's been going on for me lately, I'd lost a ton of weight doing keto, and then, like a lot of people during this COVID period, I guess I kind of just used it as an excuse to put on the COVID-15, or the quarantine 15, I guess is what they call it. And it hasn't been coming off for me. I've really, for the last couple of months, just been hanging out at 172 to 175. It's just not moving at all. So I thought that I would try out Inno Cleanse, which is supposedly you got a bunch of gunk in your body, somewhere in your gut, and this flushes it out. When you see the ads, it looks like a big container. I was a little bit shocked when I got it in the mail. This is not a big container. But I suppose that makes sense because it's just capsules. There are 60 capsules for a total of 30 servings. It has a waist trimming complex, an advanced digestive complex, enhanced detox, and pro gut health matrix. In terms of directions, it says take 2 to 3 capsules any time of the day with or without food. Use for up to 15 to 30 days at a time or as needed. Do not exceed 3 capsules per day. Store in a cool, dry place. Discontinue use 2 weeks prior to surgery. So that leads me to believe that perhaps there's some sort of blood thinning element to this. It kind of annoys me, just personal pet peeve, when the serving size doesn't match up with the recommended amount. It kind of does here, 2 to 3 capsules. But what really irritates me is when I get something that says, take 2 to 3 capsules 3 times a day. Suddenly this goes from a month's supply down to a 10-day supply. So fortunately, they're legit on that, or pretty legit. The one thing that does also sort of throw up a little bit of a red flag to me is on top of the bottle here, it says, text or get this product free. Text Inno to, and then a phone number. So I did. And then as I click on the link in the text, it says, here's how it works. Leave a review. It doesn't say it has to be a 5-star review. That would be really, really sketchy. But it does say you do need to leave a review and then give them your order number and all of that jazz. When I see something like that, it makes me question the integrity of the reviews a little bit. So for all of these reasons, this is why I decided I wasn't going to take any sort of free sample on this. I was going to purchase this with my own money, $40 for this bottle, and try it out myself. The capsule is pretty standard in size, about the same size as a multivitamin. And now I'm just going to go for the next 2 weeks to 30 days and see what happens. If anything noticeable happens in between, whether that's physically, the way I feel, if I'm getting dizzy, if I'm feeling lightheaded, if my pulse starts to change or blood pressure or anything like that, I'll be sure to let you know. Additionally, I suspect there's going to be something that happens in the bathroom. I will not be filming that, and I will try to keep it away from TMI unless absolutely necessary. But we'll see you as soon as I have an update. So here's where we get into right on the edge of TMI. It's been 3 days since I took that first dosage that you saw just a second ago, and nothing happened for the rest of the day. The next morning, I had a bowel movement. It was my standard sort of morning BM, and there was nothing noteworthy about it. However, over the course of that first day after taking Inno Cleanse, I had 5 more bowel movements. And I guess in polite company, I would describe them as being loose. They were not diarrhea, but they were loose and far more frequent than normal. Then yesterday, pretty much the same thing. So morning BM, standard, and then throughout the day, kind of loose. Now over the last 2 days, I've lost 1.6 pounds, which I'm not ready yet to give credit to Inno Cleanse for, because I track my weight daily, I keep a spreadsheet, and it's not uncommon for me to cycle up and down by a pound or more per day. I just sort of oscillate, and have been oscillating for the last several months between 172 and 175. So I'm not ready yet to say that I notice a trend, but there is definitely something going on slightly different down in my gut region here and in the bathroom. So that's the early update. We'll see how things continue as we continue. It's day number 32, or my second day of being done with the Inno Cleanse. I went the full 30 days on this, and I can tell you that the full 30 days were a lot like the first 3 days. Pretty much identical to the first 3 days in terms of trips to the bathroom. 30 days of not having a bowel movement that was remotely solid. 30 days of probably having about 5 or 6 trips to the bathroom that were fairly urgent. I mean, you get kind of a limited amount of warning when it's time to go. It felt really good yesterday being back on sort of a normal schedule, you know, in regards to this stuff down here, where I dictate more or less when I'm going to the bathroom rather than my tummy deciding, hey, it's time to go. So, was it worth it? 30 days of right on the edge of diarrhea, multiple times a day. What was the overall impact? My starting weight was 172.7 pounds. And as I stated at the beginning of this video, that's right where I've been oscillating. Just for several months, I can go up or down by a pound or more per day, but usually I'm just hanging out there right between 172 to 175. Now, I have done nothing different over the last 30 days in terms of what I eat, in terms of physical activity. I wanted to make sure that I limited any sort of extra variables and was only focused on Inno Cleanse. Did Inno Cleanse do anything? And after 30 days of GI distress, I lost 0.8 of a pound. Now, I used to teach statistics, and if you look at this chart, it looks like there's a lot going on, but really that's because the scale is pretty small. My weight did not vary all that much, despite the apparent sort of oscillation that you see there. Statistically, this is nothing but common cause variation. It's just what you see in the system from day to day when there's nothing going on. It's sort of like your commute to work. Traffic, you're going to see a little bit of variation, but unless there's something specific that happens, an accident or bad weather or something like that, the variation that you see is what's simply called common cause. And that's what happened right here. Nothing. Nothing for $40. In fact, I could have cut out the middleman here and just taken $40 and flushed it in the toilet rather than putting it in my body and then flushing it through the toilet. And if that seems a little bit harsh, it is what it is. I had high hopes for this product. I had high hopes that if this worked, I could try out some of the other products by Inno Supps. But I don't think that's going to happen right now. This was a disappointment. But hopefully my little sacrifice here, both physically and financially, will help you out. And the lesson I would say to take away from this, and I'm sure for most of you that this is just common sense, which is if it seems too good to be true, it probably is, especially in the supplement world. And when you see a company that has obviously a very huge marketing budget and is just spamming the heck out of all your different social media accounts, I would say pause, step back, and put your wallet away. If you found this video helpful, please click that like button. If you're interested in more keto and low carb sort of information, click that subscribe button, then hit the bell to turn on all notifications. That's it. Thanks for watching.